Hello guys and welcome to the video. So guys, before we get started, I just want to introduce myself very briefly. My name is Carlos Valentine and I am an Android developer based here in Phoenix, Arizona. I have been developing apps for about 2 years now and I am now a Udemy instructor. For those of you who don't know, Udemy is a platform where you can learn all kinds of different skills, and of course I specialize in teaching Android development. So guys, in this video description there are 2 links. One of them is a link to my free course called Parsing JSON Data, and it focuses on parsing JSON data into Android applications, which is really important to know as an Android developer. My second course is paid; it's only $25, but it teaches all kinds of stuff such as Recycle reviews, Google APIs, and most importantly, Firebase. So guys, if you guys have time, go ahead and check them out. But for right now, we're gonna get started with this little lesson. So what I'm gonna teach you guys is how to do a splash screen. Now, there are 2 ways to doing the splash screen, a right way and a wrong way. And I'm briefly going to talk about the wrong way, which is the way I learned how to do it. So the wrong way involves showing the splash screen and maybe using a handler to maybe post delay for 2 seconds or maybe 1 second. And then, so you show the splash screen, it shows for 1 second, and then it goes to the main activity. Now, this is incorrect because 1, it wastes the user's time. And as Android developers, we don't want to do that. The correct way to doing this, guys, is actually just to show the app or the splash screen however long it takes the app to load up. So here's actually an example I'm going to show you with you guys. I'm going to pull up this project here, which does have a splash screen. I'm going to open up my emulator. So I'm going to run this code. Okay. Come back into my emulator. And this is going to be a little example on how to use a splash screen. So here you go. You have my little splash screen there. And then it will just take me back into the activity after this. And that's it. So there was no post delay, there's nothing there. It just shows the screen for however long it takes the app to load up. Then it goes into the activity you shall desire. And this is actually a little project of mine. This is going to be the subject of my next course, which teaches login and notifications to using Firebase. And I do mean login and registration. Okay. Alrighty guys, so let's actually come back here and we're gonna go into our little project here, sample project. I called one splash activity example. And so let's get started. First thing we want to do, guys, is we want to go into our res folder here, drawable, right click. Let's go ahead and show this in Explorer. Now I actually already did this, but I'm going to delete it just so I can show you guys how to do it. So what we want to do, guys, is we want to take all these bitmaps, how they have this little size here, and we want to make a same folder for drawables. So I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna paste it here into the folder. And so for each one of these, I'm going to rename this. And I'm actually just going to put drawable. There we go. And this ensures that whatever picture we use, we're going to post it in all 5 of these drawable folders. And it's going to make sure that the app isn't slow when we use the pictures. And so this is kind of a hacky way of doing it. The right way of doing this is to actually resize your splash screen to whatever it is you want, whatever it is these sizes are. But again, this is just a quick way of doing it, just for testing, which is fine. So here we go, and let's keep going. Because if you guys want to make an app just for testing to practice, and you want to add a splash screen, you don't want it to be super slow just because of the picture. And that's kind of justification on why I do this. So drawable, and then just one more. And this is safe to use with any of your drawables. And make sure when you guys use a drawable, you put them in all 5 of these files here. Okay, cool. Awesome. So the next step here, guys, is to actually minimize this. Let's go back and select the splash screen. So I'm going to use this splash screen in my expert pictures. And this is a splash screen for my next project. Use whatever splash screen you guys want. Maybe you guys have a logo for your app or something like that. So I'm going to come back into my res folder here. And I'm just going to paste this there. And as I'm pasting, guys, I'm going to get rid of this IC launcher. So there we go. There's 1. There's 2. Let's keep going here. Almost done. There is 3. And okay. So I'm going to skip 1 for no reason. It's just because I clicked on it. Okay. And there we go. Perfect. So that is all of the 5. So now we're ready to actually make the splash screen. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to go back into my project, the splash screen example project. Okay, awesome. So here I'm going to click on my drawable. I'm going to right click. So now we have the splash screens here and for the 5 different sizes, which is awesome. So right click here, new, drawable resource file. We're going to call this one splash screen layout. There we go. Okay, looks good. So we're going to change this selector here to bitmap. And here before the tag, we're just going to say src, which is source, drawable, and just splash screen. And then we're also going to define the gravity. So just type in gravity and type in fill. And let's actually check out this preview here. Perfect. So now we just have the little image in full screen, which is awesome. So let's actually come here into our our variables or values. Click here on your styles. We're going to make a brand new style. This one's going to be called the splash style. Awesome. We're going to make the parent here no action bar because we don't want the action bar to be showing in the splash screen. And in here, guys, all we're going to do is add the item, window background, and we're going to add at drawable. And we're just going to add our splash screen layout. Perfect. Okay, so now that that's done, we need to add a new activity. So let's go into our Java folder here. Right click new. We're going to add a new Java class. Just type in splash activity is fine. Okay. Going to get rid of this. I'm actually going to extend here app compact activity. Not that. App compact. There we go. So I'm going to alt insert override, which is a shortcut. You guys should know how to use shortcuts. If you don't, definitely get used to them on create. They do save a lot of time. So we're going to override this on create. And inside here, guys, all we're going to do is just write 2 lines. First of all, we're going to start activity, new intent, pass in this for the context, and main activity for the activity we want to go to. So after this, we're going to call finish, which is going to ensure that our user cannot press back and go back to the splash screen. So now we're going to come here into our manifest, Android manifest. So here for the launch activity, we're actually just going to type in splash activity. We're going to set the theme to @style, splash style. And we cannot forget to register our main activity as an activity or else the app will crash. So activity, main activity, perfect. Okay, guys, so all that's left now is to run the code. And I'm going to go ahead and click home here. And I am going to run it. Okay. So here we go. Let's see what happens. And we should get just a nice little awesome splash screen. It should just take us to the main activity with no problems. But you never know, the app could crash. If there's one thing I learned from Android or from coding in general, is that it can always crash. You just don't know if your code is perfect. Okay, so it looks like it's just doing its thing here. Gonna give it some time. There we go. So here is our splash screen, as you guys saw, and it should just take us to the main activity. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, that was weird. I'm gonna close this. And it's actually, let's see here. I'm gonna call home. Yep, so it's there. So I'm actually gonna run it again just to see how awesome that splash screen was. I'm just gonna close this. And now that the application actually finished compiling, it should just be a lot quicker now. Because when you guys run the code, it's just a little slow, but now it's a lot quicker, as you guys can see. Or actually, it's equally as slow, but it's fine. This is an emulator, guys. You can't really expect speed on an emulator, but that's it. So that was my little tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. And so now you guys do know how to make a splash screen the right way. And don't forget that Carlos taught you. All right, guys. So please check out the course on Udemy if you guys have time and tell me what you guys think. Remember, one is free. So you guys will learn a lot just from that one free course. And if you guys can, go ahead and drop a like in this video and comments for anything else you guys want to see. I am going to make just short tutorials in my little YouTube account here. And we're just going to show you guys just little skills here and there that are going to be helpful. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, don't forget to keep coding.